What's up, lads? This is ShayLoves89, and we are here with some animated horror stories. We are going to start off with Snarled, called The Legend of the Upper and Lower Melinda. Scary story time, something scary by Snarled.
And Psychic Kids at 10.
First of all, this is dumb loud. We're going to turn that down, this the smidge. This is smidge.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Hey, I'm Sapphire.
Want to hear something scary?
Upper and Lower Melinda.
The following story was inspired by a submission from Sophie. I lived in a small town. Like most small towns, it had its fair share of urban legends. The one that fascinated me the most was the legend of Upper and Lower Melinda. Back in the 1800s, when the town was first founded, Melinda was a woman who was accused of being a witch. One day, Melinda's home was broken into by an angry mob of townsfolk. They grabbed her, tied her hands, and dragged her from her house to the center of town, all the while she kicked and screamed, insisting she was innocent. When they reached the gallows, the executioner tied a noose around her neck. Any last words? Yes, she said. Mark my words. You are making a huge mistake. And as long as the two halves of my body touch, the people of this town will be forever cursed. Shouts erupted from the crowd as Melinda was strung up and took her final breath. Typically in this town, when a woman was hung for being a witch, her body was then cut in half. The town's elders believed this stopped the spread of dark magic that may have prevented the witch from being killed. Terrified of her...
So, before she was hung, she knew what if the people were being accused as a witch. They kind of knew that, so the curse won't take effect as long as her body is split in half. But if they are put together, the curse will take effect. Okay. Interesting.
Curse. The townsfolk then buried the two halves of her body far away from each other. The upper half of her body was buried on the edge of town, but her lower half was buried in a secret location.
Oh, now I put together the title, Upper and Lower Melinda. Alright.
Unknown to anyone except the person who buried it. Now, about 200 years later, the whereabouts of her lower half are still unknown. Some people believe it's because whenever you visit Upper Melinda's resting place, her lower half crawls closer and closer to it. I wasn't sure if I believed any of this, but I love a good spook.
Wait, what? Squizma. You're saying that her body, even though dead, from 200 years, still is trying to find her upper half? Okay, alright.
Key legend. So one fall afternoon, I decided to pay a visit to Upper Melinda to see if there really was a marked grave. I traveled to the old abandoned barn all the way at the edge of town. As soon as I reached the tomb, the clear autumn sky turned dark and gray. The breeze quickly gained speed and swirled around her, and I could have sworn I heard the wind sound like a whisper. You set me free. Then everything returned to the way it was. I thought it was...
Hold up, did it say you set me free? That's what it sounded like. Let me know in the comments below if it said you set me free or something else, but I did hear free. I know I heard the word free. That I did hear.
Such a creepy coincidence. The next morning, my alarm didn't go off, so I woke up late. I realized that I had missed my bus, so my mom offered to take me to school. When we got there, we learned that the bus I was supposed to be on was in an accident. Apparently, the bus driver had forgotten to take his insulin that morning and went into shock behind the wheel, causing the bus to crash. Several students were seriously injured, and one was killed. I felt horrible, but also very lucky. And over the next month, strange things kept happening all over town. Car accidents, house fires, power outages. Everyone around me was either getting horribly injured or brutally murdered. But somehow, I was immune to all the bad luck. Then I remembered the night I visited Upper Melinda. The legend. The voice. You set me free.
Okay, so it is
I
saying
was the
that.
final visit that brought Melinda's two halves back together. And now, everyone in town was cursed, except for me. I should be happy that nothing bad is going to happen to me, but I'm not. I still have to watch my loved ones suffer and die gruesome, unjustified deaths. And that was its own curse.
I knew the eyes were going to open because I was like, why am I getting this creepy feeling like them eyes is about to pop open? So I figured, okay, I was like, when I'm hearing the whisper and it says, you set me free, that's what I'm hearing. Basically, she was the last person to visit Upper Melinda until her body ended up connecting with each other, which cursed the whole place. Okay, so I put it together already. So this was pretty good. I don't know how good compared to the other stories on the podcast, but it was pretty good. I gotta re-listen to the podcast again because sometimes the animated stories are scary, and then it's the rest of the stories that's on the podcast that's even more creepier. But that's neither here nor there. So I kind of put it together already. I was like, you're cursed because you were the last one to visit. I mean, you're not cursed because you were the last one to visit and set her free. Now, if you were to bring your family members there, they probably wouldn't have been touched either. But you have to watch your loved ones suffer. You had to know that your classmates suffered. Everybody in the town is suffering because you set her free. So it's a good thing and it's a bad thing at the same time. So it's like a gift and a curse. Still, you're cursed, but not in the way that the town is cursed. All because you wanted to visit her. So, Okay, guys. So this one is called The Milk Carton by Scary Stories Animated, and the channel is by Stranger Stories. So read this.
Never miss another strange story. Subscribe and hit the bell. Sit back and get comfortable. I have a few stories to share with you. I had always thought that I was adopted, but Mother and James, he refused to be called father, by the way, told me that I was their little miracle. It wasn't until a bleak morning in May that I was finally bored enough to read the side of a milk carton on our rickety breakfast.
Hold up. Why am I getting this feeling? Because it says missing on the milk carton. And I don't know if I'm putting two and two together, even though I didn't even fully hear the story, or because of the title and the milk carton I'm looking at, she's the missing child and they just took her. Or something like that. That's what I'm getting. But we'll find out.
Stable. Amanda Price, age 6 when abducted, would now be 15 years old. She was last seen wearing a white t-shirt and purple overalls. If you have any information as to the whereabouts of Amanda Price, please call. I dropped the carton. Milk came flying out in every direction, leaving the room coated in the beverage. I knew I was Amanda. I had to be. I had never felt like a Melissa. I had never seen any photo of Mother pregnant, or a baby book reporting all of my milestones. James always brought me up in fights against Mother. The room spun, and I let the creeping darkness of unconsciousness take me. When I awoke, I scribbled down the phone number on the spilled jug on my arm, wiped up the mess with a paper towel.
I just noticed how the middle number is 666. Anyway, keep moving.
And headed on my way to school. There was a payphone outside the main office, and I could have some privacy. I tried to explain the situation to the woefully unprepared man on the other end of the line. He offered to pick me up from school so he could take me to my real parents. As someone who never fit in with my family, this was a dream come true. It wasn't until I was back in his shed, shack.
Oh, snap. So, this guy was basically just trying to abduct kids who thought they might.
And then beaten, did I notice his printer. It was large enough that he could print whatever he wanted to on cardboard. His job as a grocery clerk allowed him to plant whatever images he pleased on the milk cartons. It is only now, as I see my reflection in his knife, that I realize just how much I look like my mother.
So, you felt like you didn't fit in with your family, and you felt like you were that little girl that got abducted, and you called this number stupidly. And I say stupidly because you didn't ask, I don't think you asked questions. You didn't ask what the person's, like, what the parents' names were, if you could remember if you were that person. You have to ask questions with that type of stuff. Because if someone throws a red flag, you probably wouldn't got in that car and got killed. Just to find out it's a serial killer or who works in the grocery store who's killing kids who don't fit in their family. That's crazy. Anyway, so this one is called The Face in the Window. It's a true animated scare story by the Grim Reader. Let's go.
I got out from under my covers and opened the window a little more. There was an old nail sticking out of the wall that prevented the window from opening more than a quarter of the way. Hey guys, it's the Grim Reader here. Quickly before the video starts, I'd like to...
Nope.
If you want to have a peek at how I...
Nope.
I grew up in a large Midwest community, raised by a single mum. We lived in a small 2-bedroom house in the middle of a neighborhood that was situated on top of a large hill with plenty of busy roads nearby. The neighborhood was tiny, the houses were far apart, and the nearest home was around half a mile away. At the time of this story, I was 4 or 5 years old, and like any kid my age, I was having issues sleeping in my own bed. On a night like any other, my mum tucked me into my bed, turned on my nightlight, and shut my door.
So shut the window
Her
too.
bedroom was located directly across the hallway, so if I needed anything, I could call her name and she would be there instantly. I woke up suddenly one night, not because I was scared or alarmed, but simply because I didn't feel the need to sleep. My bed was pushed up against the wall, and my window was located at the foot of the bed. I remember looking at the ceiling and out of the window, and noticing how bright the moon was shining into my room. As I turned towards the wall to try to go back to sleep, I noticed that someone was looking in my window.
Nope.
I don't think I was old enough to be freaked out by this because I don't remember feeling scared. There was this lady.
Hold up, pause. No. Hell no. If I can't sleep, as a little kid, there's something within me, especially for where I live at. I live in the hood. If I see somebody in my window, what? Nope, I would not be in this room. How you doing? Nope. This little kid is either brave as whatever, or he's just that naive. But I would have been like, we'd be sitting there doing the whole Diddy and that dude from the from his little show sitting there looking at each other. I'm like, and then I'll either run out or I'm calling my mom or my daddy. You are being a creeper looking out the window, looking at my window inside my room. No.
She looked completely normal. She looked at me and then waved at me. Then she told me to open the window further, although it was already open a crack and I could clearly hear her voice. I got out from under my covers and opened the window a little more. There was an old nail sticking out of the wall that prevented the window from opening more than a quarter of the way. She smiled for a few seconds and then calmly asked, "Can you help me find a house I'm looking for?"
Nope.
My mum had explained to me 100 times that I wasn't supposed to talk to strangers, and apparently this time I forgot all of her teachings because I was more than happy to help this lady. The lady told me some random address that she was looking for. I could barely remember my own address, let
So why
alone
would you try to help?
comprehend where the address was that she was looking for. I told her I didn't know where that house was, and then she smiled at me. Honestly, this made me feel good, because I was a little disappointed that I couldn't help my new friend at the time, and her smile reassured me. Thinking back, this was terrifying. After a few seconds of silence, she said, "Do you think you could come with me and help me find this place?"
No. No.
I can remember slowly getting out of my bed while keeping eye contact with this woman. Again, she wasn't particularly scary, and I wasn't scared either, but she just seemed a little desperate from what I could remember. Of course, at this age I didn't know what was going on or why she was acting weird. But anyhow, I backed up to my door and put my hand on the doorknob. The closer I got to my door, the closer she got to my window, until her face was touching the glass. I opened my door and calmly walked into my mum's room, still not understanding the severity of the situation. My mum immediately woke up and asked me what was wrong. As soon as I told her that there was a lady outside my window, she started freaking out. She asked me about 1,000,000 times if I was sure that it wasn't a dream. When she went into my room, sure enough, the window was open, but no lady to be found. Needless to say, my mum made me sleep with her for months after this happened.
Good.
I think the scariest part about this is that I truly didn't understand how bad of a situation I was in.
Well, you're a kid.
And the fact that she looked
understand.
completely normal. This lady could have easily taken me out of my window. Around the time that this happened, a girl that lived in my neighborhood went missing. My mum never reported what happened to the police, but I always wonder if it could have been related. They still haven't found Trudy Appleby. I hope she's okay somewhere.
That's crazy. And creepy. See, no. I have somebody near my window who's not that close to my window. Wants me to open my window, and then as close you get to your door, once keeps coming up to you and pressing up against the window. Yeah, the heifer's crazy. She's trying to kidnap you, but you don't know the severity of that because you're a kid and you didn't know better. You know your parents taught you not to talk to strangers and all that other stuff. Usually when it comes to kids, that goes straight out the window because the lady's being friendly. You gotta be more careful, and also close your freaking window. Do not pay attention to that person if they're by your window. Go to your parents and then have your parent call the police. That is it. Let's move on.
On a boring summer day.
Okay, so this is called The Ouija Board Horror Story by Sion. I think I pronounced that correctly. Don't quote me on that. But I do know. I think it's Theon. But
My parents forced me to clean out the basement. While going through the boxes, I noticed a box that looked like a board game. I picked it up and saw it was an Ouija board. I sent a photo of the Ouija board to my friends and asked them if they wanted to give it a try. It seemed like the perfect way to make this day more exciting. So we all agreed to meet up later that night at my house when my parents weren't home. Later on that night, everyone arrived at my house. At first we had fun scaring each other with different possible scenarios, laughing at the thought of an actual ghost. Then I brought out the Ouija board. It looked like one of those antique ones from the olden days. We lit a few candles, turned off all the lights, and began our session. We weren't sure how to properly use the board, so I started off with the most cliche question ever. Is there anyone there? We all sat there anxiously, waiting for the planchette to move. After a moment of silence, one of our friends jerked the planchette and our other friend screamed. We started laughing at how ridiculous this was. After calming down, we decided to give it another try. We put our hands on the planchette and asked a different question. If there's anyone there, we would like to make contact. We were just about to give up, but the room started to become colder, and the shadows around us seemed to move. No one said anything, but everyone had the same exact thoughts. There's something else here with us.
obviously,
I was getting a little excited at this point. It was like we were in an actual horror movie. We began asking more questions. Did you die here? How did you die? Are you an evil spirit or a bad spirit? Nothing happened.
wait,
But now
what?
we were all beginning to become bored. Did you die? Are you an evil spirit or a bad spirit?
Are you an evil spirit or a bad spirit? It's still bad. Evil or if it's evil, it's still a bad spirit. What do you mean?
Nothing happened, but now we were all beginning to become bored. Until my friend asked a different question. Do you want to hurt us? The planchette started moving.
Of course, it's
We all
moving,
held our
yes.
breath when we saw where it was going. To the word, yes.
Obviously.
Suddenly all the candles went out. We all
Nope.
started panicking, and everyone was pretty much screaming. I went for the light switch, but the power was out. We all ran out the house and stood at the
And got it
driveway,
ended.
collecting our thoughts and trying to calm down. After we searched the house for anyone who might have wandered in, everyone went home.
Y'all didn't end it
There
properly.
was nothing else to do that night. I was feeling extremely unsettled being alone in that house, with whatever just said they wanted to hurt us. I couldn't sleep the whole night. I felt like there was something else in my room.
Because y'all
watching
didn't
me.
end it right.
The next day, me and my friends met up. Everyone said creepy things happened to them that night as well. One of my friends' TV turned on in the middle of the night, and the only thing playing was static. He swore his remote was on his desk, and he wasn't sure how it turned on at all. Our other friend's dog woke up at 3 a.m. She said he was barking loudly at her closet door. She opened the door, but there was no one there. Her dog still refused to go near it. I still don't have an explanation on why those things happened to us, but thank God nothing happened after that. I haven't played or gotten near an Ouija board since.
Y'all didn't even end it properly. First of all, don't take your hand off the planchette. Two, you have to say goodbye to the spirits before this. Yeah, you're freaking out, but say goodbye so you can end it properly and nothing would probably happen to you. That's why I don't touch stuff that has to do with the supernatural. I'm okay. So, we're gonna go to one of my favorite people here that has a dope TV series, dope animated series on here called My Girlfriend Wants to Kill Me. Season 1 is already fully completed, and then he's still doing season 2. Don't know how many episodes he's gonna do of that, but I know he's up to episode 5. So we're on Dark and Twisted's channel. Everybody who I just watched it, they will be in the link in the description below. Original videos will be in the description below, so please check them out. especially Dark and Twisted. His with Crazy Mary, it's been cool. So my roommate from hell, true horror story animated by Dark and Twisted.
A dark and twisted true story. My friend Tamika and I decided to move in together as roommates. I thought it was a great idea because we had known each other for the past 5 years. And even though she was a girl and I was a
her shirt says hell to the now.
guy, we had no attraction to one another. We were just friends. Anyways, one night while watching our favorite horror series, I complimented one of the actresses and said, "Wow, she is so beautiful." Tamika then said, "So you think she is prettier than me, huh? What am I?
Well, he didn't even compare you to Misty. And what? Girl, what is on your biscuit? Cause it ain't butter, and the show ain't jam. So what is on your biscuit?
Chopped liver. I didn't know how to respond because, as I said,
I wouldn't. I would
we
have kept
didn't
on
look
moving.
at each other in such ways. So I said, "Of course not. You're pretty too. You're just saying that to make me feel better."
Was this crazy? I was like, was this Crazy Mary before did she switch her? Was her name Tamika before it was Mary Slaughter? Cause something ain't right in that head of hers.
I hate your stinking guts. I hope you get slaughtered by Crazy Mary and she chops off your little raisins and shove them where the sun don't shine. Bastard, she said.
What is wrong with you? Who pissed in your cereal? Who hurt you, Tamika? Who hurt you, honey? Who did it? Who did it? Because obviously your insecurities or something, he ain't dating you. This man, your roommate, is not dating you. What is wrong?
Then she stormed out of the room in tears, went into her bedroom, and slammed the door behind her. I just figured it was that time of the month and she was acting crazy. So I finished watching the movie, then went to bed. A week later, I started dating this girl named Tina and decided to have her over to listen to some music in my room while Tamika was at work. Then, all of a sudden, my bedroom door flung open. It was Tamika, just standing there with the most intense stare in her eyes, and her teeth were grinding in anger. "Who in the hell is this?" she yelled.
My business.
"I'm his new girlfriend." "Who are you?" said Tina. "I am his girlfriend, and you have 2 decisions to make. Either you leave."
No, boo-boo, you his girl. You are a girl that is his friend. He is dating her. Miss Purple Twizzler over there. You is just a girl that is his friend. Know your difference. You are a roommate. Y'all have separate bedrooms. Y'all are not sleeping in the same bed. Where's your head at?
Leave this apartment in all one piece, or I rip your intestines out of your body and strangle you with them. "So what's it gonna be, bitch?" she yelled as she pulled out a knife bigger than the ass of a black china and
Yo, the stuff he be saying in his stories. what the shiggity higgity, and he said a knife bigger than Black China's ass. Oh, what? Okay, alright.
Before I knew it, Tina had panicked, climbed out of the window, jumped into her car, and sped off into the distance. Sweet baby jiggly jiggity Jesus.
Yo, where he become? Sweet baby jiggity. I can't even repeat it. Sweet baby jiggity. Sir, where do you be coming up with these words? Oh, my thingy's burning my arm. Nope, turn that down. Thank y'all. Sir, you need to move out. You need to move out, and you need to move out in silence. So therefore she doesn't know you're here, and let her be stuck with the rent because the bitch is crazy.
What in the hell is wrong with you? I yelled. I am not your boyfriend.
Right.
We are just roommates, I
Right.
said. Then I am going to turn you into a female, if you know what I mean. Then she aimed the knife at the love below. I ran the hell out of that apartment and never looked back.
Woo. So I hope you like this video. Give the video a like. Give my channel. If you want to subscribe. If you want to see, definitely if you want to see more Dark and Twisted. If you want to see more of this and watch me react to the watch me react to him, then I'll do that. Also, try to help me find funny or stuff that's not scary, so I can react to more of those. Cause I on my channel you will see mainly me actors like Snarled, Wanzi, Llama Arts. I haven't reacted to Mort. His channel's pretty good too. Like stuff like that. Like anybody that does horror, because I do love horror. I like scary games. I like scary movies. I like anything that has to do with horror. I like a good scare. So I would put Dark and Twisted's channel. I would put Sion's channel. I would put Grim Reader. I can't think of the other channel's name, but I will put all of their channels in the description below. The original videos in the description below. Check them out. Give their videos a like if you like what you see. And I will see you guys later.
This sound like what? 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 This sound like what?